I can't find the recorded introductory video, but here we are. It's a serial number 9203 Congress Hofner, and as you'll see here, it says that it's made in mid 1960 or coming up to September 1960 because of the serial number. And here's some more details for you. I am still fiddling with my lights to try to get them right. Right, Panadol. Oof, I need that, I tell you. Right, okay, so what we got to do, this is very limited actually, because everything is working fairly well. Ooh, very high action up there. Oh God. Right, okay, why am I saying oh God? Well, at least it has a truss rod. It's got a 0 fret, and if the action's high, I have to work on the 0 fret. But what I'm seeing with my naked eye, let me just see if it's with the real eye, is an underbow. It's been about 2 weeks since I've worked on, yes, massive underbow, so that will help the action if the truss rod works. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to loosen the strings because I think the strings are new. Right, I'm going to be lazy because my eyes are sore today. I'm suffering today. Now, I'm going to take that apart to see if we've got any movement. Let's hope we do, babes. I sold another little guitar for the CC today. It was only £35, but it's one of the ones that, remember the 24 lot? Well, it's not one of those. It's actually one of the ones that a gentleman came to me to fix, but when I saw what was wrong with it, it just wasn't worth fixing. And you've seen the video already if you do watch this channel. It's a little Sonata. Now, what kind of truss rod, what on earth kind of truss rod is that? Oh, it's one of the very early truss rods, and I think, I'm not going to think at all. Right, I'm not going to say anything negative until I see what I can do with it. I don't have a long enough shaft. As the girl said to the sailor. Right. I'm going to need to get the right size before I tackle this, because if I swing on it anymore, it's going to wreck it. But what do I do? What do I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? What'll I do with just a photograph? Right. Oh, I forgot that I was singing. I forgot. Right, stop that if you call that singing. Right, I need to think. Here, pause for thought. Better order one from Amazon and it'll be here in a couple of days if I can find one. Actually, I probably need to find a proper one like that in 6mm, which I'll try to find. So maybe I'm too easily impressed, but last night at 10 o'clock I ordered the 6mm for this guitar, and this morning at 11 it arrived. How can that be the case? I know that it is being held in a warehouse in England, but from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Very impressed. Amazon, very impressed. Okay, let's see if it fits now. It does. So this is the crunch. By the way, it only costs £9 and you get a free plectrum. Wow. So it's fitting on it well. It's going to take several turns to get it into where it needs to be tight. And when it gets into where it needs to be tight, I'm going to make sure that when I put it on, it's going to be right on it. I put loads of pressure on. It probably is, maybe it's not. I'm going to say maybe it's a metric, but it's not. So my thought is, do I remove part of that wood? No, nothing. Okay, so I'm not going to screw up that head for the sake of getting it more. I'll, I'm dropping everything. I'll just let you see where we are with the, it's not the world's worst underbow, but it's not great. Now can you see that? That's an underbow that I don't like. And the truss rod is quite capable of pulling that out, but I don't have enough leverage. Give me a lever and I move the earth, move the world. But I don't have enough purchased on the nut, and I do believe this is a cheapo one, which is wearing away, and I'm going to end up damaging the truss rod nut. I can't get a grip there. See, I can't get a grip there. I can only get a grip in one place. Oh, let me try this place here. No. Now, because I can't get the neck the way I want it, I'm going to clean up the frets. It's very well played. I don't know whether you can see there, but there's dents where the fingering is, because that's sort of like the money area, and I think this is, I'm guessing, country style single things. The frets themselves are also fairly well worn. Let me just go down, let you see them. They're fairly well worn. Can you see it better on your side than I can on my camera position? But they're not worn enough to worry about. And again, I could take them down, etc., etc. I could scrape this fretboard, but I'm not going to. It needs a good cleaning, because if you see down there, it's got some sort of blue rusty stuff. So it's going to get a good cleaning, but I'm not going to scrape it because it's pretty good, pretty original, and Georgie girl wants to cuddle. Don't you, Georgie girl? Do you want to cuddle? Is that what you're here for? Alright, now Georgie girl's left my hand all wet, so I have to wash my hand now. Okay, I'm going to scrape now. Brand new blade. I'm going to just let you see me scraping the first two frets, and then I'm going to go super speed going down the rest of it. Now, if you're a first time watcher, I don't know how much of that you'll see. The top of my hand's what you'll see. But I kept the blade parallel to the fretboard, and I moved it up and down like that. Now you'll see the speed that I went at a steady speed. You go at a different speed other than steady, and you'll end up going drrr, drrr, and make little dents in the fretboard, and you don't want that. Now I'm going to speed through the rest, but this is the worst fretboard, so what I'm going to do is set up the other camera so you can see it at side view just for that fret. So if anybody's learning how to do scraping of their fretboard or are nervous about it, they can see how you do it close up. So I'm going to pause now to get the other camera set up. I have both cameras running. Hopefully you'll be able to see what you can see now on that fret. So steady as she goes. Can you see much? There's a lot of, I didn't actually see it, but there's a lot of finger dirt on this, as well as being the dents. There's a lot of finger dents, finger dirt. So I'm just going to go through it till I get rid of all the dents gently, slowly, not pressing too hard. I'd rather do 50 passes than press too hard and cause dents in the thing. You press too hard and you go again, so just soft and gentle. I'm seeing a lot of red dust, so that's telling me this is high quality rosewood. I got to resist the temptation to go fast. You got to resist the temptation to press harder. And it may look like you're taking an awful lot, but you're not really. Right, okay, let me just tip that so you can see it. Right, okay. I'm just going to clean that, and then I'm going to show you the next step that I'm going to do close up. Now this is also pretty critical. I'm going to go in there. You don't press too hard or you'll start cutting. You're almost parallel to the fretboard, and you're just going along there, taking out any dirt that's in there. Now I do this because I'm right-handed, and my steadiness on the left hand is not good enough, so what I'll do is I'll clean the frets like this up in there with my right hand, then I'll turn the guitar around and do that side, because if you press too hard you'll leave a little groove. You won't undermine the frets unless you go crazy, but you'll leave a little groove. And so all I'm doing is just taking out the dirts inside there. And so basically I'm just seeing a little bit. I don't like the word basically. Don't use the word basically again, Austin. But that's it. And when you go to oil this fret, it'll come up beautiful. I'll show you. Will I show you it being oiled even though I haven't finished because it's close up? Yes, I will. I'll show you it being oiled because it's going to get oiled several times. Now that I've cleaned it, I can see little spots that I haven't quite got to, because the dust had covered them up. So this is what you do on every fret. It might look tedious and boring and long. That was slightly longer because it had such big dents in it, so they wouldn't all be as long as that. But I'm going to just show you that fret with some lemon oil on it. I would be tempted, where's my lemon oil, right? I would be tempted to put crimson high build on it, but I actually do want oil to soak into this. Crimson high build sits more on top, so I'm going to put many layers of this on by the time we're finished, and you'll see how it changes the color and it changes the whole look of it. So I think you can see there, although that's a shiny, and it won't be shiny by the time it's finished. You can see actually it's amazing, it's soaking right into it. The wood is that dry, it's soaking right into it, but you can see the difference already. So I'm going to get on with the rest at high speed and switch this camera off and just motor on. Probably just slow it down here just to explain to you about mother of pearl. If your mother of pearl is sitting flush to the board like it should be, then you can just use the blade as per normal on it, and it should just take off a little scratch of the mother of pearl, not much at all. But if it's sitting proud, you may have to be extra careful and bring the mother of pearl down a bit. This is genuine mother of pearl, I can tell by the way it's shaping up, so it's pretty good to work with. But you will be taking off little fractions of it. Right, I'm going to stop now, my hand's sore. Oh. Okay, I'm going to pause and get tidied again. Now, what I'm going to do is rub some 3000 grit sandpaper across the whole thingy and just to polish up the frets. This is 3000. In there is dirty. Black glove is in there, black glove. That's a beautiful piece of wood. Right, okay. They say you should use gloves, boys and girls, but that really depends on the kind of lemon oil you're using. So I've left that to soak, as you see, and I'm going to leave it to soak right in and leave it and come back to you. So why are we back to this again? Well, one will tell you why we're back to this again, because I had a really close look at the video, and you remember, where is it now? Yes, it's that. Remember when I was trying to put that in and I hammered it? Yes, it's that one. But what I saw on the video was that the right one? Yeah. That the hammering pushed in a bit of wood there, that side, so it looks like it's gone narrow. So I'm going to take a chisel and take away a little bit of the edge to see if I can get the chisel in, and maybe that might help. By the way, I filed that down, and you see the way the extra slots have vanished. Luckily the person who put the extra slots in didn't go down too far. So there you go. That's it out. So right, okay, now let's see what this does, how far it will go in now. Does it make the slightest difference? It's actually this, and actually if you can see it hasn't been machined down far enough, which means it's not going in as fully as I want it to. Oh, it will go. What's that? Why did it go in all the way there? Let me just see, maybe there's a bit of metal stuck in the inside there. So it goes in almost all the way. Let's have a good look. This is the fussy little things that you get stuck up against from time to time. so when I put it in, it won't go. It'll go into almost the full length of the. It'll go almost the full length of the nut, which is great. But as you tighten it up, ooh, maybe I'm getting somewhere here. Let me just see. Maybe I'm not as stupid as I look. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Look. Let's just see what I can do here. Must have been a little bit of metal stuck inside the truss rod tool. Alright, let's see if we got any joy. You'll hear me cheer. I don't think so though. Yay! Yes! That did it! That did it! Little bugger. There's a bit of metal stuck in there. Wouldn't let me go in the whole way. And that stopped it. So now the neck is straight. Let me just check it again. I'll show it to you on the other camera. Love it, love it, love it. Let me just go get it. There you go. That's the kind of underbow I like to see. A nice gentle underbow, not the huge thing. I'll compare it to the previous video to let you see the difference. But that's very good. I might actually give it another little twist. Well, I'm a happy puppy. I'm a puppy that's happy. I'm a doggy that's smiling. Right, let's put this back together just quickly and put the truss rod cover back on. Well, no, I have to put this back on, don't I? And I have to clean that up. Oh, it's got a crack on it. It's got a little crack on it. I still have to adjust the string heights because the string heights are still too high. You see the way those are sitting in the grooves now, but the grooves are not dictating where the intonation point is. Right, okay. So, right, okay, I'm going to pause now because I'm hot and sweaty. That was hard work. Do I want to pause now or do I want to just get on with it? Where is that little bucket before she gets her hands on it? Where is it? There it is there. So somebody else has been playing with a truss rod but didn't succeed. Didn't succeed the way I succeeded. Yo! What does a budgie with no teeth do? Succeeds! Boom boom! Succeeds. Okay, alright, okay. No applause please, no applause. No, these are the wrong screws for it. These are 3 different screws. And I don't think any of them are going to do the job. If one does the job, I'll be happy. And the other 2 are firm enough in the thing, I'll be happy. But that's a round head screw. We'll see. If not, I'll change them later on. But somebody else has had a bash at this and lost a screw. Dickheads. I had a Hofner like this, not quite like this, but I had a Hofner when I was in the bands. I must put a picture up for you of my very early days in the bands when we were sort of being goofy like the monkeys. Right, okay, let's get tidied up. That neck is gorgeous. Look at that neck. That neck is beautiful looking. It's even nicer in real life. It's such nice wood, that is. So the next job I'm going to do, I'm going to oil that again before I go to the next job, but I'm going to look at the head to see if there's anything I can do to maybe improve the looks of the head, because I don't think there is, but I'm going to look at it anyway to see if there's anything I can do to help some of the scrapes. As you see down the side there and there, and I don't think I can do much with it, but I'm going to have a look at it. Let's get you down there so you can look at it with me. I'm shaky, shaky, shaky. It's because I'm shaky. Now that is underneath. Yes, that's not on top, it's underneath. I can do something with that a bit, but I wonder. Right, now I don't want any on the face, I want it in there. So let's wish me luck, because I'm going to put it on my finger. This is the stuff that will dry into tough finish. So, alright, I've got some there coming up. I could do without the strings there now, because this will dry into a hard finish. I don't think you can see any difference. I'm not sure if I can see any difference either. But if I can put one of these on, and I don't know if this is going to press the two together and do the job I need. I just don't know that. Or if I just wasted some time. If I've wasted time, it's not a problem, because it doesn't look like it's done any damage. Whether it'll do any good is another thing. We're not giving up yet. We'll see what that looks like tomorrow when I take it off. Meanwhile, it's late at night and I'm going to go and sit down and relax just for 5 minutes. Is that okay, boys and girls? Thank you. Okay, I think that's helped a bit. Not a great deal, but a bit. But now I'm going to tidy up this damage here with a furniture touch-up marker. Okay, now while that's sort of settling down, I think you can see reflections on it. It might not give you the idea. It looks better than the camera. It looks pretty good actually. So I'm not going to touch that. Not there, because that's just wear and tear that looks good. I like to see that kind of wear and tear on a guitar. Is it in focus? I can't tell with my eyes. So down here there's a little chip, and in there there's a little chip. Here comes little Chip herself oh, she just jumped up on me. And there's a couple of other little chips, but I'm going to get out my other markers, and now that she's in my arms, I'm going to just stop for a second to get out my other markers. We have the pleasure of Mr. Joseph Biden visiting our little country. Despite the fact that he hates the British people, he's coming over here to celebrate. I don't know what he's celebrating. I won't get into that. A lot of you would disagree with me. Okay, it's time for this baby to go home. And so I'm going to finish off touching it up. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, because we all want to see what the pickup's like, don't we? Don't we? We all want to see what that pickup's like, and if there's any markings on it. Because some of these pickups can be very expensive. And this looks like a pickup that was built not long after this guitar was made. So let's take it apart and see if we can see any markings. I'll just turn this over to see what we got. Alright, okay. ROHS. Right, I'm going to take a picture of that and see what I can see of that. ROHS. Okay, pause, I'll come back to you. Oh well, was hoping for something marvellous, but it's only a £20 pickup. It's called an Artec, A-R-T-E-C pickup. I'm sure it does a good job. We'll have a little listen to it whenever I do the demo. It also needs a bridge set. So I'll speed through this. I might, but I'll come back to you if I do, but I might swing on that truss rod again. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. I'm a bit nervous about swinging on it again, so I probably won't. Right, pause while I do all this messing around. Now, I'm not a happy puppy because you saw me swinging on that truss rod as much as I dare. I probably could swing on it more, but I'd be afraid of snapping it because I was pushing on it quite hard. But that underbow is back again, and it's not a little underbow. It's a fairly large underbow, unfortunately. And this is one of the first Hofners with a truss rod, so I'm not going to push this too hard. Let me just show you. This is let me just see. No, it's just a rough idea. This is the, you know, the gauge that you can put in, but you can see the edge of the gauge going underneath it there. I don't have, oh, here we are. Here's some fret files which will show you. This is 32. Right, 32. There's 32 thou. Yeah, it's just squeezing under there. No, it's about 30 thou of a. Can you see that? I don't know whether you can see that or not. Let me bring you right down and let me change the lighting so you might be able to see it a bit better. Look, can you see down there the amount of underbow? And if I move my hand, you'll see that underbow goes right up to the top. But I can't do any more with that, because if I do anything more with that, I risk this tiny nut doing something wrong. So I'm going to make it a money shot guitar. So in other words, as I said before, intonation's lovely, everything's set up nicely. I'm going to let it go home to daddy like that. It's just, yeah, frustrating. I could bring that down, right? But I'm bringing the whole string down, and if there's an underbow on it, you're bringing the string closer to the bit where it's buzzing. So I'm sort of surrendering, I must admit. But I know the 12th fret is lousy. What do you hear? Now you may think, no, that's heading 2. You may think, oh, we can get away with doing something there, but at the detriment to up here. So I'm going to tidy it up, give a little demo on it, and after I've done the demo and played about with the electrics a little bit just to make them a little bit smoother. This little guitar is a little bit of a disappointment, but maybe someday some other luthier will come along and want to take, gosh, there's a skunk right down the back, but personally I would leave that all alone. I wouldn't touch it. Okay, Georgia girl in the background. This is the Hofner Congress. It's looking pretty good. It looked pretty good when it first came. It's a little bit less chippity choppity in the back. What's that down there? Does that have to be touched up? Maybe, I don't know, but it's going to have its lacquer put on it. Now I'm a little bit disappointed because of that underbow, which I think you probably can see. It's a lovely sounding guitar. Let me just check it's plugged in at the moment. But it's I like it. What can I say? I've raised that so we can get good playability up to there. You're not going to get good playability here. But you get good playability from there. But isn't it a smart looking guitar? Isn't it grand? I think it's a lovely looking guitar. It doesn't have a lot of power from that pickup, but what do you expect with a little chippy pickup? Anyway, it's going to be hanging. Hopefully it's going to be hanging in the wall of a lovely house. But it's hard to be enthusiastic when you know the guitar's got an issue. But there you go. It's going home. My favorite chord. Okay, it's going home. Say goodbye to it. It'll get a little bit of a polish and some lacquer and then away home. Bye bye. Just say bye bye to Georgie girl. Georgie girl. No. How Taylor Swift can she be? Doesn't even turn her head around to see your fans. All right. Bye.
Something sinking down below. It's all you'll ever have to know. At the ocean